The 2K Sports pregame show, presented by Kia.
Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with my colleagues, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, we'll see the Boston Celtics playing against the Detroit Pistons. Last game for Detroit, they picked up the W against the Heat. That gives them 4 straight wins. They'll be going for 5 tonight, playing at a high level for sure. One of the guys we'll be seeing tonight is Al Horford. He's been an all-star before, not really a household name, though. Does he get the underrated tag from you, Shaq?
Yeah, you know, he's never been the center of attention on his teams, even back in his college days at Florida. But very much a blue-collar post player. He brings it every night.
Well, if you're an NBA player or an NBA fan, you know, that really pays attention to the game, you know Al Horford and you know his abilities. But if you're a casual fan, I would say, yes, he is underrated to the casual fan, the people who kind of check in on just on the weekends. I would say they don't know how good he really is.
Very consistent, huh?
Oh, consistency is his middle name. It's Al Consistency Horford.
That's true, Shaq. You can look it up. That does it for now. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for another edition of NBA basketball. Alongside Chris Webber and Greg Anthony, I'm Kevin Harlan, the 4th member of our crew. From the sideline, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. Glad to have you with us. We're broadcasting live from Boston, the home of the Celtics. And, of course, Boban Marjanovic. This will be their 2nd game without him.
And his fans, teammates, there are a lot of people that I'm sure are sad to see him go, given all that he's brought to the table. But I like what the trade does for them. I bet it helps them right off the bat, not to mention in the long term.
We are nearly ready for the tip-off, but first, let's hear from our very own David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Well, Stan Van Gundy remains one of the most demanding coaches in the league. Dwight Howard played 5 seasons for him and gave Van Gundy a lot of credit for the growth of Pistons big man, Andre Drummond. He's going to push you to the limit, said Howard. His whole method is to get the best out of you. Throughout all the yelling and noise, you have to listen to what he's trying to say. Kevin?
At times, a contentious relationship between Howard and Van Gundy, but you see the respect there, sir. DA, thank you. And certainly, Chris, a matchup to watch at the center position tonight. What's the key?
Oh, motor, energy. Who's going to be hitting the boards? Who's going to run down the court, get that post position? Who's going to communicate with their defense and let guys know what they should expect?
Yes.
Ready to go?
So Detroit will get the first possession. We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. On the floor for Detroit, Jackson and KCP are in the backcourt together. Tobias Harris is out there with Prez, and it's Drummond in at the 5. And so it's the Pistons getting on the board first. Horford, that's good. And it's Thomas picking up the assist.
And that's when Horford can open things up for the whole team offensively. I mean, that's where he can. Off the catch and shoot, bottoms up.
Jackson passes to Harris. Back to Jackson. Caldwell Pope outside. They grab their own miss. Prez, no good. Bradley up top. He's guarded by Caldwell Pope. Shot on the wing. Count that one.
Oh, nice look by Bradley, moving it to the open man.
For Detroit, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Jackson kicks to Prez. Tries again. In deep, Drummond drops it in. Drummond's got his 2nd bucket.
Where's the box out? Some easy second chance opportunities there.
That's just a real lack of physicality in the post there. No reason at all that they should have gotten the rebound off that miss.
Now, here's Thomas. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against the Bucks in Milwaukee.
No, that's because of the consistent effort on the glass. Unbelievable. The overall energy he played with.
Here's Prez following the basket by Al Horford. And that one's good. Drummond.
Oh, the muscularity and skill set of Drummond is incredibly difficult to match up against. A tremendous big man who is remarkable in the paint.
Johnson, and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. Prez picks one up.
Now, when you think about Amir Johnson, the last ever prep-to-pro draftee. Now, look, he was taken out of high school with the 56th pick by the Pistons back in 2005. Learning from the vets on that squad, he learned how to win.
And he knocks down the first one. And we're not used to thinking of 11-year vets still having room to grow, but you know what, Chris? That might be the case with Amir Johnson.
Well, it's interesting. I played with Amir, always a great athlete with high energy, great motor, but he's never averaged more than 28 minutes a game despite being that highly effective player. That could mean he's had a lot of tread left on those tires. Heads up, aggressive move. The smaller man on him takes him right to the rim.
The Pistons shooting their first foul shot of the night.
And as a team, they're down around 72% for the season.
That free throw good from Prez.
Detroit has had such a rich history with the Pistons, and there have been so many great players to put on the blue and red. Just think about it. Guys from the Bad Boys era like Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars. Even further back with guys like Bob Lanier.
Now here's Bradley. He's coming off a 13-point game against Milwaukee. Second chance shot, got a piece of it.
What defense from Prez, timing the rejection perfectly and sending the shot away with some real nastiness.
Again, the Pistons score. And the Pistons, Chris, have always had great players, even in down years. And one name that pops into my mind was Grant Hill before he injured his ankle.
Oh, yeah, and you can talk about so many other players. Let's just talk about Dave Bing, or even think about other players like Bob Lanier. But it's hard to pick one player who encapsulates the franchise for Detroit, as the titles have come from a strong starting five. But I would say Isaiah Thomas is the greatest Piston ever, and it's hard to argue with that. He owns a lot of the team's records. He was the #1 pick for the Pistons. He got us 2 rings. Now, he might not be known as Mr. October, but Reggie Jackson does share something else in common with his namesake. They both are clutch. Jackson has hit big shot after big shot in his career. He relishes the chance to make that deciding play. We've seen it time and time again. Marksmanship.
They set the screen. Double team on Thomas. It's stolen by Harris. Stolen by Thomas. Johnson right side. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. And Chris, I think you're right on the money when you say Reggie Jackson was looking to take that big shot.
And that's the exact mentality you want from a player who's going to take shots in the clutch. Make or miss, they have confidence. They want to be in that moment. They embrace it. He knocks it down.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Thomas kicks to Horford. And stolen by Drummond. Harris outside. Nice ball movement by Detroit. They get it back. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Well, I tell you what, when Drummond burrows his huge body down low, it's big trouble for the D. All you can do is foul him.
The Pistons shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight. That free throw missing. And Chris, for the Celtics, a depth of talent, great coach, but they admit they've been looking to get that transcendent player to take them to the next level.
Well, I know this for a fact. You can go a long way with chemistry and depth, but it's tough to win it all without a superstar player or 2. You know this front office will continue to be aggressive, looking to position themselves for a run at an 18th championship.
Jackson gets the bucket.
You couldn't have dreamed of a much better start here than they've had today.
The beginning of this game has had their imprint all over me.
Great job, guys. Nice work. Take a seat now. Let's talk.
Get lost, Boston!
I like what I see out there, fellas. We're playing like we want it more than them. Just keep squeezing that orange juice, gentlemen.
Skill one-on-one, having to score because they aren't used to playing against true defenses. I think sometimes it's a cop-out for the defense. I think the NBA is a different league. I think the NBA are the best players in the world, and therefore you should be able to guard your man one-on-one. I think that rule may have been put in place so that coaches can hide defenders on their team that can't play defense, but yet still keep them as an integral part of the team on offense on the other end. So I'm definitely not a big fan of it, but hey, it's a rule, and if I were a coach, I'd definitely use it if I saw fit. But it's just so hard to rebound on defense, so easy for the offense to rebound because you can't see. You have to communicate that much more, but you know, hey, if you're playing against a team that is shooting the lights out and you want to stop penetration sometime, that may be the way to go, but not a big fan of the zone.
Like that. Here's what Boston's going with right now. Gerald Green comes in for Johnson, and Garrett Temple subbed in for Thomas. Screen by Olynyk. And Green gets it to go.
Oh, and just a great screen by Olynyk. I mean, really sprung that play over.
Smith dishes to Harris. Back to Smith. The pass to Prez. Trying to find Smith. He's got it now. Stolen by Smart. And a fast break now for the Celtics. And Olynyk gets it to go on the assist from Crowder.
That's an aggressive approach to the rack, but still he calmly floated it.
Here's Prez. Crowder with the steal. Over in the corner, Green. Feeds it to Temple. Screen by Olynyk. An easy layup after coming off the pick.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Prez passes to Drummond. Lays it in without an inch of room around him. Drummond's got 9 points.
Well, one thing about Coach Brad Stevens, he's very composed on the sideline. He said it was a lesson he learned at Butler. If he gets rattled, the team does. So whether the game is going well or going poorly, you can't tell from looking at him. He keeps an even keel.
And Temple kicks to Olynyk. That one, no good. Good D by Drummond. To the inside. To the inside. And Drummond throws it down.
And with Prez, you get it all. Outstanding passes to his guys who have clean looks at the basket.
And Stevens keeps that steady demeanor. But that doesn't mean, Chris, he won't get into players if he thinks they're not playing the right way.
But even there, keeping that poker face helps. Players don't want to be embarrassed in front of thousands. As a coach, if you pull a player aside or keep it in the huddle, that's appreciated. You'll see him talking to a player, and he looks cool and calm. But if you're a lip reader, it might be a different story.
Now here's Drummond. He's got 11 from deep. Here's Prez. It's deflected.
Oh, and he's the rare player with a shorter arm span than his height. I mean, Olynyk is still going to get his share of blocks.
Here's Smart, trailing here by 8, and the call will be against Prez. In the first half,
Thanks, Kevin. Here with Brad Stevens. Coach, what did you think of your team's energy in the first half?
I think the energy's fine. I thought we did look a little gassed at the end of that first stint for some of our starters, but I thought for the most part it was good.
Thanks very much, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
Bring it in. We have not won this game yet. We're letting one guy look like a world beater out there. He's getting into our paint at will. I want us to keep him one way and force him baseline. Understood? No easy buckets. Now let's get out there and win this game.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter. Welcoming you back in a closer. Pistons making a change here. Prez has checked in. Last game for the Celtics, it was a loss to the Bucks in Milwaukee.
And really, given how they performed offensively, guys, they just never had a chance.
You're exactly right, but you shouldn't have a chance when you play with very little energy and have even less execution. A big disappointment all the way around. Coaches, players, fans, everyone deserves some credit in this loss.
Thomas is the point with Bradley to his side. Horford is out there with Amir Johnson. And it's Brown in at the 3. That's the group for Brad Stevens getting going here in the second half. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, Prez in their last game against the Heat was a man on a mission. He scored 23 points and was his usual dominant self on the glass. A truly dominating performance from him. Hopefully a sign of more great things to come. Evan?
Thanks for the report, David. You had to just marvel, guys, at what he was able to do that night, didn't you?
You know what? It was the game of basketball being played at its highest level. No question who their MVP was in that one.
Oh, well, let's see if he gets special attention now by the defense. You know, obviously they saw what we saw, but how much did they try to take away from him early on? Oh, man, his form seems rushed today, like he's trying to get rid of the ball as soon as he gets it. That's why barely anything is going in for him.
Chris, it's been a few years now since you've returned. How do you feel the game has changed from when you were playing to the modern game we see now?
Well, I think the game is less physical. Yeah. I think it's more of an emphasis on small ball, but I think it's the same in many different ways. But I just think that maybe the tempo, and I think the most obvious factor has to be the number of threes shot and taken per game. And if you're talking about Steph Curry setting records, breaking his own, the shots made per game.
Good analysis. Here's Drummond. And here we can check out the breakdown of rebounds tonight between the front court and the back court for Detroit.
And their big men are getting the bigger percentage of these boards. You know, you expect that, and they'll need them to continue to patrol the paint and clean up the mess if they're going to win this game.
He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the game right here.
And the free throw line was a problem spot for him in their last game. Really struggled up there.
And that one misses. And you look back, Chris, at the teams that Stan Van Gundy has coached in the past, each one of them were considered contenders for so long.
Well, the job of turning things around here in Detroit has been nothing short of spectacular.
Thomas kicks to Johnson. The Celtics working the ball around now. Beyond the arc. It's good, and the Piston lead is cut down now to just 3 on the bucket from Thomas.
Well, the three-pointer has always been a big part of Thomas's arsenal. I mean, the quick release, able to hit on the move.
Caldwell Pope dishes to Prez. Here's Harris. Pistons keep it alive.
They are really crashing the offensive glass, and it's paying off for them.
Jackson passes to Prez. Goes back up. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.
How about the concentration? He gets hit, but stays with the play and gets the finish.
This is his 2nd attempt at the line tonight. And with the core that this Piston team has, they do a great job, Chris, of attacking the glass.
Well, Kevin, and conversely, the Pistons do a great job of limiting offensive boards while on defense. Every game they are getting a handful of extra chances because of their approach. The leader is Drummond, but there are a lot of other active bigs to fill out the roster.
And Bradley gets it to go.
Oh, and that's where Bradley's 6'7" wingspan can help. A little extra reach to get it over the D.
Down low. Prez kicks to Drummond. Dishes to Prez. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Prez has got 5 points now in the quarter.
And guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
Inside, here's Johnson. That's in there. Thomas with the assist. Thomas got his 7th assist of the game with that last one.
Well, and you know what? He's underrated there. Johnson with length, athleticism, and he can finish with either hand inside.
Jackson setting the pick here for Caldwell Pope. Drills the 3-pointer. Caldwell Pope's got 6.
Oh, he has a big height advantage from beyond the arc and the touch to send it home.
Thomas with the ball. 13 points in the game. Inside, Horford. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. And that's out of bounds. Boston will retain possession. Jay Crowder's checked in for Amir Johnson. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Johnson, he's checked in for Caldwell Pope. Crowder sets a screen for Thomas. Just 4 to shoot. And the shot's good from Crowder.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Detroit leading by 5. Jackson dishes to Prez. Jackson against Thomas. Prez kicks to Harris. Drummond with a screen on Thomas. Jackson passes to Prez. Doesn't go that time. Good work defensively by Crowder.
Cold start to this game for him. A lot of his shots have been off.
And it's Brown missing.
The defense took a big risk leaving him wide open and got lucky. He clanked that outside shot.
Prez kicks to Johnson. To the middle. Out to Harris. Outside Jackson. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. And it's Drummond missing.
He's usually very dependable from that range, but the D got themselves in that play and got him off kilter.
Johnson against Bradley. He kicks it to Brown. Now here's Horford. He's got 8. From deep three-point range. The dive for the ball. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Horford. Teams that make their free throws, they're so tough down the stretch. Let's check out the best. Third spot, the Celtics.
You know, it's really a team-wide talent. You want to foul to stop layups, but against them, you're not saving much. They'll make you pay time and again.
Jackson kicks to Johnson. To the middle. Here's Prez. A second chance effort. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that, Prez has got 7 points for the quarter. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
As you look around the league, and the post-up is giving way to more and more pick and rolls, more and more three-point shooting. Some big men don't like it, but Amir Johnson embraces the change.
Thomas is killing us out there, fellas. He's made 3 three-pointers tonight, gentlemen. We have to get him under control. Deny him the rock and take him out of this game. No easy buckets now, all right? We got this.
These seasons, climbing up from a subpar defensive team to elite status. You look around the league, there may not be a better perimeter defensive trio than Marcus Smart, Avery Bradley, and Jay Crowder.
Looking at who's out there now for the Celtics. Olynyk, he's checked in for Horford. Temple comes in for Brown. And Marcus Smart is subbed in for Bradley. Detroit also making some changes. John Lure, he's checked in for Drummond. Marcus Morris comes in for Harris. And Smith subbed in for Jackson. And as good as the Celtics have been defensively, Chris, Coach Brad Stevens thinks they can get even better.
Well, yeah, at times they've been a bunch of hacks. They still foul too often and struggled on the defensive glass. I think they've needed more shot blocking inside. If they can address those issues, this defense could be scary.
Prez dishes to Johnson. Pass to Lure. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Prez, no good.
Even though he's struggling with the shot, it hasn't stopped his team from getting in front and maintaining this lead.
Thomas against Smith. Pass to Crowder. Shoots a 3. And it's Lure with the rebound. Lure's got his 5th rebound in this one. Here's Morris. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Morris has got his 2nd basket of the game.
When Morris gets it down in the paint, he's deadly, using his big arms to get these shots up and in.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. Olynyk, a screen on Smith. Lets the 3 fly. Olynyk can't hit. Now Prez releases. Here's Lure. And that one is good with the extra effort on the glass. And now a 9-point Piston lead. And as we end the third quarter, a great game. Both teams playing well. Pistons ahead, leading. Now let's listen into the huddle of Brad Stevens.
Piece by piece, chip away. See if you can't, next time we get together, have it down a few.
Brad Stevens reminding his guys you still have time to get where you want to be. Just take it one possession at a time.
Well, he wants them to relax. I mean, there are going to be ups and downs over the course of a game. Just breathe and play.
Well, welcome back as we get set to start the fourth. And Detroit looking at who they've got. Prez in at the 4 spot. Smith is out there with Caldwell Pope. Then it's Johnson, and it's Baines in at the 5, roaming the paint. From the wing, and the whistle blows. It's going to be on Aaron Baines. That is his first foul of the game. And some changes here for the Celtics. Horford comes in for a limit, and Bradley's subbed in for Green. Here's Smart. He dishes it to Johnson. To the paint. Here's Crowder. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A 3-point play chance here. And Jay Crowder at 6'6", 6'7", not the tallest guy at the forward spot, but he is solid.
So true. Everybody needs a perimeter player who can deal with those strength matchups. Crowder is physical. He doesn't back down from anybody. He's a difference maker on that defensive end.
And here's Smart. Horford kicks to Crowder. Banked in off the glass.
Nice work offensively, and Crowder caps it off inside.
Pistons leading by 7. Johnson outside. Down low. Here's Prez. A stupendous finish in traffic. Prez has got 9 points here in the second half. Well, the Celtics shooting pretty well at 46% from the floor. About a minute and a half into the fourth quarter now. Smart with the ball. Now guarded by Prez. Kicks to Horford. They swipe it. Shoots from the baseline, and he wills that one in. Sinking right through off the back iron.
And Prez is just the master of the mid-range. Whether he's open or covered, he nails these shots consistently.
Start it. Nice job, Orange Juice. Hustle up, take a seat. I love the energy, fellas. I really do. But now we got to keep it up and stay focused.
Option when you played in teams' offenses. Does that concern you? Is that good or bad?
It's concerning from this point. Kids aren't being properly coached in the middle school and the high school level. Kids don't know how to play on the post. When you look back through the history of this game, whether it's been guards or big fellas, the post is not about how tall you are. The post is about how the closer you are to the basket, you usually have an advantage. And if you have game, then that pump fake game down there work and get you to the foul line. And if you are a good passer, then it draws the double team. It changes the angle that the defense has to look inside and play. It helps slow the pace down sometimes in the playoffs when the game gets tough and a little bit more physical. And we can say that everybody's changed their game, but only one team wins a year. So, you know, I don't know if the trend is necessarily not there with big guys not in the post when I look at guys like Drummond, Blake Griffin, Dwight Howard, Horford, Jordan, Zebo, the Gasol brothers. It's still a lot of post players out there, so I don't subscribe to that opinion that is less on the post. I just subscribe to the opinion that maybe coaches don't want to coach that way because guys have post game, but we just have to see if the game will change. But small ball right now is what everybody loves.
Great perspective. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, I was able to listen in on what Brad Stevens had to say to his team. He is not pleased. He told them they have to make a push right now. He said, look, we got to make a move or I've got to pull the plug. Pretty blunt stuff, Kevin. Back to you.
Thank you, David.
Well, give Drummond a lot of credit. He's just taking smart, high-quality shots out there. So smart and not letting the defense dictate what kind of shots he attempts.
Smart passes to Horford. Up and in on the layup.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
Pistons leading by 10. Caldwell Pope outside. Now the dish to Prez. Al Horford with the rebound. Horford's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Now here's Smart, covered by Smith. And the basket by Johnson.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
Smith dishes to Prez. Over in the corner, Caldwell Pope. Prez with the screen for Caldwell Pope. Now the feed to Prez. And Harris wide open. He shoots. The offensive rebound. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
Well, you just got to keep feeding him the ball. Everything he shoots has been gold so far.
Jackson, he's checked in for the Pistons.
You love the heart that Drummond plays with. He's just a physical beast who's using his gigantic size incredibly well.
Johnson outside. He feeds it to Bradley. He tries for 3. Rebounded by Jackson.
He hit a 3 in the first half. Now he's searching for his first outside shot in the second half.
Here's Caldwell Pope. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time. Celtics trail by 12. Smart with the ball. Picked by Horford. Smart kicks to Horford. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse. Horford's got 4 points this quarter.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
Harris outside. Pass to Caldwell Pope. And he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
And the versatility of Caldwell Pope, not just the scorer from outside, but also a threat to shoot the ball close to the hoop as well.
Smart kicks to Brown. Baseline try. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And in a draft class full of great wing players, it is easy to sleep on Jaylen Brown. But he can become a great player. Has everything you want from a wing in terms of skill set and that physicality. He could have a ceiling just as high as anybody else in this draft.
Boston making a switch here. Thomas is checked in.
And Caldwell Pope can be a volume 3-point shooter, meaning when he gets a lot of attempts from there, he can fill it up from downtown.
And you look at...
Hey, this is what happens when we play our brand of basketball. They cannot stop us. Just keep squeezing that orange juice, gentlemen.
They are all, I think, correctable things. He's going to put up a lot of highlights over the course of his career.
Celtics trail by 15. Now here's Thomas. Inside, Johnson, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
You know what? And not a bad foul there. Johnson, an excellent finisher inside. And the one thing I like with the Celtics, you see the chemistry and the continuity, not just on the court, but on every level. Coaching, front office, ownership, they're all on the same page.
And he can't hit the second. And for the Celtics as an organization, when you have that trust and that common understanding, Chris, that makes a huge difference.
Well, you have to give the leadership some credit, because part of being a great organization is hiring great people and letting them do their job. Ownership and management are involved, but not overbearing and forward thinking. This is a franchise that is exploring every avenue to find an edge.
Harris passes to Prez. 5 to shoot. Takes the 3. Rebound Boston. Now Thomas. Now the pass to Horford. Shoots from 12. That's good. It's Thomas picking up the assist. 16 points for Al Horford.
That's just the vision of Thomas, spotting the open man and delivering the ball on time and on target. And that's a well-placed pass right there, right where his teammate can do something with it.
To the paint. That one's good, and the Piston lead is cut down again to 13 points with the basket from Johnson.
And a crafty pass into the lane, perfectly executed.
Detroit's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Here's Prez. Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him. Prez has got 14 points here in the second half. Celtics have gone 8 of 10 from the field here in the fourth quarter. Really getting it done. 1:24 left in the fourth. And stolen by Drummond.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for the Pistons.
They found a great rhythm from long range.
Yeah, Kevin, every time they left a man open deep, he'd get a good shot at the basket. Didn't hesitate, and that aggression paid off.
And so taking a look at their season record, this will be win number 31 on the year.
And they will walk out of here feeling really good about themselves today, guys. A big win over a conference foe they'd split their previous 2 games with. And what a huge standout performance it was for Drummond.
He was just impossible to keep up with offensively. He was the key for them playing at such a high level and at such a great pace. No matter what kind of D they threw at him, he found a way to keep putting the ball in the bucket.
Pistons passing it around. 5 to shoot. Prez dishes to Drummond. And they force the shot clock violation. Great team.
And that's how we play the game. Bring it in. Let's go.
By Boston. They're losing by 12. 26 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Thomas kicks to Olynyk. And a miss there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits. And the Pistons with possession. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. Olynyk with the steal. The drive by Green. That one drops for him.
Great movement on the play. Creates the size mismatch down low.
No one near Prez as he lets it go. Buries the long-range jumper.
And they've just done a great job of keeping this crowd out of the game. And we're getting closer to victory. The crowd's getting quieter.
Well, the fans have sounded lost and disappointed, which is exactly what they were hoping to accomplish.